You're listening to the Level Best Network.
This is the Intercot Insider Live, episode number 104. The Intercot Insider Live is brought to you by Magical Journeys, Intercot's official travel agency, and the Disney Vacation Experts. Also by the Official Ticket Center, for tickets to your favorite Central Florida theme parks and attractions at discounted rates. And welcome aboard the Magic Monorail. We are here, and we're back from ICOT20. Our, what was it, ended up being 4 days worth of celebrating in Walt Disney World. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 13th through 15th. Actually, 12th through the 15th, I guess it would have been, right? No, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th.
Yep.
Right. All right. So along with me are the folks who were there at ICOT15. Ian
you were there.
Mitchell. ICOT20.
ICOT15.
He was there for 15.
There.
I was
Yeah,
looking
sure.
at Ian thinking of ICOT15. It really was ICOT20. Ian Mitchell. Hello.
Yes, I was there.
Hello.
Hello.
Cindy.
Hello.
Hello. Carolyn.
Hello.
Hello, Nation of Canada. Jason.
Hello.
I wish I was still there, but glad to be back with all you guys on the podcast.
Yes, indeedy. And if his computer's still working, Justin.
Yes, I'm here, I think.
Yeah, sometimes the pre-show is better than the show itself. And if you would have heard all the ruminations that were going on, and computers that were updating and things that weren't working prior to the show, you would have been amused. But
we pulled it off.
For those of you who met me at ICOT 20, I'm a bit of a potty mouth, and
Intercot Insider After Dark.
Oh,
At
it was flowing and flying.
It's a pay-per-view special coming to HBO
yes.
at some point, indeed. So, yeah, we are indeed back. We had 4 great days of meeting up with you guys out there, celebrating 20 years of being online, indeed. And we also did kind of a video wrap-up at the end of the weekend, which is on Facebook, so be sure and check that out. We may actually translate that to some audio for those of you who listen audio only somewhere down the line. But you'll get to there during that. You get to meet a few of the folks that were with us, along with the whole staff. You get to see them, which is unusual since we usually are an audio podcast. I think that was our first video podcast ever. And from there, just give it a listen, see what you think. But as far as everything else, we had a great weekend. I'll let you guys comment on what was going on. But we started Thursday and kind of got into town, traveled in. I drove in. Most of you guys flew in.
and boy, my arms were tired.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks, Shecky Justin.
Rib shot.
You're gonna be playing in the Catskills next weekend or something.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah, really. Any of you have any problems getting there, or otherwise interesting travel stories?
No. Jen and I got off the
Suck.
plane. Yeah, we got off the plane, got the rental car, got to Bay Lake Tower at like 5:30, had a minute to just throw our stuff in the room and turn around, and we went out to Disney Springs, which is every time I drive that way to Disney Springs, it's like be in the left lane to get to the thing or be in the right lane to get to the thing on the left side of the road. But
that's how we do it here in America.
I hate driving to Disney Springs now. I just don't like it.
No?
Anyway, we made it fine, and we got to the Hangar Bar, and then we walked around the Hangar Bar looking all around for you guys, texting, where are you? And we were walking right past you. Anyway, we found you.
Yeah. Well, we
Good story, bro.
Yeah, that's it's great.
And then we got all of our goodies from John. We got all of our glow sticks, like glowy, what do you even call those things? The little flashy LED.
Yes, that would set the
lanyards
tone for the rest of the weekend. Indeed.
Yes.
But yeah, I met up with Ian. Basically drove in, got the car, met up at some. How did we meet up? I know it's all turning into a blur. It was 4 days of craziness, but
You met us at the Plaza.
the Plaza. That's right. I did.
The Plaza Hotel.
I did. We did a little.
Not the hotel, the restaurant.
Yes, we did a little
Fine dining on Main Street.
Did a little fine dining on Main Street before we did that. But then back to the resort. We were staying at Old Key West, for those interested. Still a fine place to stay. Our room, a little bit outdated, I think. Could kind of use a little touching up. But they are big. They're big rooms. We did not have the Mickey in the railing where we were. I don't know if you all know. Like, some of the railings actually have Mickey heads in them at Old Key West, but it's a running thing. But on the way, moved on, like Carolyn said, to downtown Disney. Found
Disney Springs.
Yeah, Disney Springs.
We're old school.
And
kick it old school.
Found a parking spot right next to another Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
The irony.
Looked exactly the same.
The irony of it all. But yeah, just essentially, not a whole lot of stuff to report from there. But basically, just got together with a bunch of the folks and sort of set the tone, cracked a few beverages, and moved on and got ready for day number 1.
That was my first time at Jock Lindsay's. That was a cool little spot. I thought that was neat. And then where did we go? We went somewhere after that. Where did we?
Stargazers.
Yeah, Stargazers.
The Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
I managed to get my souvenir glass home from Stargazers, so I have that to share.
What was the souvenir glass?
It was just this is gross, actually. I think I ordered a drink and I didn't even know it came with the souvenir glass. It just was like like the fruity cocktail kind of drinks, and it says Planet Hollywood on the side. And she's like, "Oh, do you want to keep your souvenir glass?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." So then she just goes behind the counter and brings me a box with one already in it. So I'm like, "Oh, cool, I get a new one." Well, I get it home, open it up, and it's one that's been clearly used and they washed it, but didn't do a good job washing it.
Oh my!
Like there was water spots all on.
It wasn't yours?
No, because in the time it took her to walk my glass to the back to the counter and then walk right back, it was no time at all.
Maybe that's why it was so shoddily washed.
I mean, it could be that she just
she just took your glass.
Well, maybe.
And put it in a box.
I mean, it was no time at all. Mm-hmm. And it was all wrapped in tissue paper in the box and everything.
Okay, yeah, that sounds
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchy.
Anyway, so I have somebody else's souvenir glass, I guess. But oh well. Thanks. I gave that to my husband as a souvenir. I'm like, look, I brought this home for you.
It's for you, honey. Here's some bacteria for you. Enjoy. That's great. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moved on. On Friday was our Magic Kingdom day. We got together in the morning at the Carousel of Progress. Quite a group. I think there were about 32 to 35 people, somewhere around that.
Yep.
And went on the ride, did the sing-along, annoyed
and
some
I
other
think
patrons.
some of the people
probably.
they were kind of looking at us funny,
what
but
the
that's
heck's
okay.
going on? Why are they singing, Mommy? I don't understand.
Carolyn and I were reciting all the dialogue too, so I'm sure they really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciated it. You just sitting next to me. I got to hear the whole.
Place. I wasn't sitting next to you.
John,
you were
your
close
costume
enough.
is ready.
I could hear you. What were you? Were you in back of me, or?
No, I sat next to Marcy, and then Carolyn was on my other side. Marcy was on the end. I was second from the end.
You were near enough that I could hear you. So.
Ian's critique of the video game in the last scene.
The last scene
I'm
is so
really
bad.
there.
I mean, yeah, this purple cartoon.
Laser discs and high def television.
Things automated.
And you know what? Ian makes a good point about that scene, because why does Uncle Orville, he's in the back bathroom.
Right.
He only turns on the light to say, no privacy at all around here. And then he turns off the light again, like he can only use the bathroom in the dark.
Well,
perhaps that's
has
part of
issues.
his privacy.
We all have our quirks, Carolyn. You know,
Like George Costanza.
Like George
taking
Costanza.
off
I was going to say that, take it off your shirt. Yeah, it's the first thing I thought of.
No.
I was in
let
the
me just say,
pool.
I love the Carousel of Progress, but my lord, does that last scene need some updating? I mean, could we please, like, at least throw
They
like
did.
an
They did
Xbox
update
in
it.
there or something?
Well, they
Yeah.
updated the TV that they have on the stand. Remember when it used to be one of those back
the Sony
projection?
It was like the
TV
giant,
things?
yeah, the old,
Yeah.
like,
So they
rear projection screen. Yeah.
they updated that TV not long ago, and they just put like a little piece of tape over the. I don't even know. Is it like Sony? It's whatever
or
kind
Vizio
of.
or whatever.
Yeah.
How about even
They
just
just put-
updating the laptop that's on the counter?
Oh, they did. She has a new
No,
laptop.
she does
but
have
the
a new
screen
laptop.
is just
Oh,
black.
I missed that. Okay.
It's not even on, so she's
It's
sitting
not-
there
yeah.
like, there, I just reprogrammed the stove.
Oven.
And it's,
I've got
and
my
it's like,
privacy
wow.
filter on the screen, so you
Oh,
all can't
yeah,
see that it's
yeah,
actually
exactly.
on.
like at the bank.
Oh my! Well, I just
Yeah.
wonder why no one's concerned that the turkey is on fire in the oven, and
And they just kind of
Yeah.
laugh
just
back.
kinda-
Like, is anybody gonna
the
put
house
out
is
the
on
fire?
fire.
Anybody for frozen pizzas?
I do. I'm starving.
Like, is nobody gonna crack a window and let all that smoke from
I know.
Or maybe like get a fire extinguisher, like just like see if there's anything that needs attention in there. I mean, there's smoke like
What?
billowing out. Yeah, what? That's my favorite line. Every time my wife gets like, says something that I should have paid attention to and I didn't, I'm always like, what? God, this whole joke.
What?
What? Like the most realistic dialogue in history.
Yes, indeed. So from there, I think our next thing was what? 1313 on the 13th.
13 on
Yep.
the 13th on Haunted Mansion.
And we got stuck.
We did.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
At the very end.
Well,
And somebody
okay,
got yelled at on Facebook.
Before
Yes,
Carousel of
somebody did
Progress,
use that on.
What?
Jen and I got.
Wait.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on,
Okay,
hold the
back
phone.
Up, back up. Okay.
Back up.
Before Carousel of Progress, Jen and I were like, well, we got a few minutes before we need to be at the carousel, so let's just take a quick ride on the TTA, and then that'll give us perfect time. We'll end up at the Carousel of Progress meetup. So we got on the TTA. Yeah.
Tomorrowland Transit Authority Metroliner nonstop.
Not
now
anymore.
departing
that
Rocket
guy's
Tower
voice is
Plaza
gone.
Station for a round-trip
Round
Super
trip,
Skyway
Super
Tour.
Skyway Tour.
That was the better narration.
Welcome aboard
Yes.
TTA
TTA
travelers.
traveler.
Whether you're a humanoid,
Whether you're a humanoid,
a robot,
robot,
or an alien
or an
passenger.
alien passenger.
We hope you enjoy your trip along Tomorrowland Transit Authority's Super Skyway.
Skyway.
All right.
So
sorry.
we were on the Super Skyway, and we
Right.
got stuck right underneath when you can see like Space Mountain and the astronauts are dangling above your head.
All right. That's a good place to
Yeah,
get
we
stuck.
got stuck, and
That's a good
we were
place.
thinking, oh no, we're gonna be late for the Carousel of Progress thing. And I took a picture and put it on Instagram, and then somebody tweeted something afterwards, like, oh, I hope this isn't like a theme for the week, and that there's gonna be like the Intercot ride failures or something, that like you guys are trapped.
Right.
So
Set the tone.
yeah. So then, after Carousel of Progress, we went on the Haunted Mansion.
Yes, we did.
We sure
And
did.
what happened?
So Jen and Ian were in the car in front of me and John, and we got stopped. And I'm saying we are stopped like if you walked a few more feet, you would be on the conveyor belt at the end of the ride.
Yeah,
Correct.
like,
We were past Little
could-
Leota. We were past all of that.
you could not have been stopped any further without being able to get off the ride. Like it was
Right.
that far
Yeah.
along.
Exactly.
So John and I see like this little iPhone pop up from the top of Ian and Jen's little
Doom buggy.
caboose. What do you call them?
Doom
Doom
buggy.
buggy. Yeah.
Buggy, come on.
And so she took our picture. So then I added to the picture to add spooky ghosts. I drew on it, and we Facebooked that. And then we kind of got chewed out because
We
like
got yelled at.
it's
Because we
inappropriate
You
to
got in trouble.
To take
Bad
flash-
show. You know.
take pictures in the ride, and we of all people should know. And come on,
Come on, people.
let's
Come on.
on,
let's
bro.
have a serious talk here, okay? It's
All
just you and me. It's just you and me, Carolyn and you. Just listen.
Uh-oh.
Let's have that father-daughter talk at the end of Full House, okay? Listen, son. It's
right.
okay to take a picture at the exit of a ride. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, especially when your ride is stopped and you're not ruining the show for anybody.
No, and plus everybody else behind us was just from Intercot too, and they're our friends, and it's okay.
And we were like in the light area where the light is coming from the exit into the, like, it's not like we're in any dark area in the ride.
Yeah.
Come to the light,
you
Carolyn.
guys were ahead of us because we were stuck right before that, right before you get to the ramp where she keeps telling you goodbye. That's exactly where I was, and you guys were further up than us.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of us were stuck
we're
back
sorry
in the
if we
hitchhiking
ruined
ghost
anybody's day.
You were stuck back in the hitchhiking ghost game?
Yeah, and they kept going. That was interesting. So the ride was stopped, and they were like doing the head switch thing. It didn't really stop the whole time.
Just kept going.
Oh, wow.
Just kept going.
Were you getting other people's heads switched, or was your head being switched?
No, it's just the same.
It just kept switching your head over and over.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The ride was haunted. But yes, we got chewed out a little bit, but it's okay, folks.
Still the greatest moment in my Disney life when I got stopped in the graveyard scene and got to walk out of the ride. Did I ever mention it?
You may have once or twice.
Once or twice.
That's the greatest moment in your Disney. I think
really the greatest moment.
Oh, here we go.
Actually, the greatest moment would have when I stayed in the castle. Besides that,
remember.
You stayed at the castle?
When did that
really?
happen?
no, I
I
have
recall.
Never heard of this.
I don't want to talk about it that much. I really don't.
Amazing. So
we had to get all this mentioned.
Wait a minute, Ian, where did you stay?
wait, hold on. It's a flood of crickets. So from there, moved on, did some trivia time with the fine folks from Magical Journeys who were there, and made sure that everybody was a winner at trivia.
Yes.
And it was great of them to be out with us throughout the whole
Some of those
weekend.
questions were hard, too, by the way.
They
Sorry.
were very.
They were hard.
I know some people were Googling and they allowed that, but I was like, I don't know.
Google.
I refused to Google.
I did also, but I mean, I think, who was it? Jason, you were sitting with myself, Dawn, and somebody else, and we got maybe half the answers, 3/4 of the answers, maybe?
That's more than we got.
I think I got about 3/4.
I was sitting with Carolyn and Jen, and I don't remember.
Yeah, a couple of dummies.
I mean, I think I got like 6 right or something. Like it was. Although I don't. Maybe that's almost half. I don't remember how
They're
many
very
questions.
curious about their trivia.
There was one question about like who were Walt's 9 old men,
Oh yeah, I had to list
and
all
we were
9
like,
old men.
in general,
I answered animators.
his friends. I said it's like that episode of Cheers where Cliff Clavin goes on Jeopardy and he's like,
People
are
have never been
people
in my
who have never
kitchen.
been in my kitchen?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yes.
But it was good. We all walked away with like water bottle holders and
Not all.
these little squishy. I don't even know what they are.
Are they the Funko
Funkos,
things?
yeah.
Yeah, Funko, right?
But they're.
Like the
I thought the Funko was.
Vinylmation pass.
Yeah, they're Vinylmation size. They're just little guys. They're cute.
Yeah, they were very cute, and it was very nice of those folks to provide that.
The water bottle holder came in very handy for the whole trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Clipped it on, and it was good to go.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Magical Journeys.
big thanks to them, Nancy and the crew, everybody who showed up from that. Number of folks from the travel agency were out there, and be sure and support them as they help us bring the magic to you. Moving on, we did a little bit of Dole Whippin' and Tiki Burden. I did finally get to try the orange.
Yeah, we did.
The what is it? It's the orange
Citrus swirl float.
that.
With orange
What
pop.
Jason said. Yeah, with orange soda.
No, orange soda.
Orange. No, it's orange pop.
Orange soda.
Orange Crush.
Fanta.
Got my-
Was it Fanta?
got my orange crush.
Is it Fanta?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
orange Fanta.
Probably because it's Coke products.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
I'll give my thoughts on that. I don't know if I was a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
It was
I had
like
that too
orange
the night
on
before.
orange. And orange soda with that wasn't kind of what I'd almost rather have like some cream soda with the orange and the.
Oh,
and the
then it
vanilla.
would be like a creamsicle.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like orange soda, so I don't like that one at all.
Oh, it
I'd
was
much rather
so
stick with my
good.
traditional.
I mean, it was
You
good.
guys drink
just like a
orange soda.
creamsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love creamsicles.
I can't have soda, so I couldn't partake. But I did take Jason.
Yep, there you go.
Way to bring down the party.
I did take Jason's advice and got the pineapple upside down Dole Whip.
Yep.
What's
which was
that?
That came out the
Awesomeness
Monday
in a
before.
cup.
Yeah.
Okay. And what
it
is that for
was-
those who the uninitiated?
It was like a pineapple cake,
Right.
upside down with Dole Whip on top of it.
Yep.
And it was just to die for.
Was it really good?
Yeah, it was very, very good.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and we used the mobile order.
Right.
So we were sitting. We actually after we had done the trivia, did we? Do
we did.
The,
we did
the
mobile order.
carpets.
The carpets.
We did the carpets.
We did mobile order at Pecos Bills, right? Didn't we do it there?
Right.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
Actually, I
And we
thought
were
that
all
worked
sitting-
pretty well.
By the way,
upside
yes,
down.
generally a fan of the mobile order. I've done that like
Not,
about 3
not a
times
fan of the
now.
nachos.
The only thing though that they don't do with the mobile order is they don't offer the discounts yet. You don't offer AP or any kind of discounts
yeah,
when you
they
use the
don't.
mobile
But they
order.
don't. They don't usually
Doesn't
have
work.
discounts at
I don't think
counter
they have
service
them,
places
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, Pecos Bill did. I believe that was
Is
one
it
of the
Pico?
ones that we had this
Pico.
conversation.
Is it
right.
Pecos?
Pecos.
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 I always
Pecos.
thought it was pesos, like the money, because
No, it's
Pecos?
Pecos.
But I believe that
I believe
place
Pecos Bill's a person.
offers a 20% for AP during that time. I think it was one of the ones.
I think somebody
No,
said, yeah, that they
no.
got it. I think
No,
so.
Flame Tree does over at Animal Kingdom.
Yes, they did also, right. So.
And they did add a few on, which they were supposed to, for those of you who are pass holders, they extended the dining discounts. They announced that, but they also extended the merchandise discounts, which they didn't announce. Every place I went, I was still getting 20% off.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's through till I think the end of December.
Yeah.
December like 20. I think it ends before. Oh God, before the Christmas. I believe it's like the 23rd. or something
December
like that.
23rd. And yes,
Right, the
Justin is
23rd.
right. Pecos Bill did have. See, I didn't even know. I wouldn't have asked. Pecos Bill and Jungle Navigation Company in Magic Kingdom still have it. Flame Tree Barbecue in Tiffin. Epcot is all seated except for Electric Umbrella has the 20% too. And Hollywood Studios, the Commissary, Backlot Express, Hollywood and Vine, and the Derby.
So are they bringing that back next year, or did nobody knows at this point? I know they set an end date, but has anyone heard?
They'll
any-
probably wait to see what
Yeah, I don't-
attendance is like and
Right.
pre-bookings. I think that's what drives it.
I got to be honest. I mean, that's one of the things. I'm so out of the habit of asking for that because, I only ended up using it in like clothing shops or a few places before, and now I got to get back in the habit of asking again. There were many opportunities over the weekend where I could have gotten a discount, and I just did not.
I asked
do
those
it.
places I went,
Forgot.
but there was quite a few restaurants didn't give.
Right.
I shouldn't say quite a few. That's probably not fair, but there was a number that didn't take it. Mostly it was the smaller, like carts and stuff. But all the merchandise locations do. So when I bought souvenirs for the family, the kids I left behind, I got 20% off all that.
Yeah, the only merchandise that I can think of off the top of my head that never does it is Japan in the store that's there, and China. They don't usually do the discounts too.
Yeah, some of the Epcot stores don't, and I think it's
Yeah.
like the ones that are operated by non-Disney merchants are the ones
Yep.
that don't do it.
Yeah,
Correct.
that is exactly it.
I need to take Pecos Bills to task, John. I have to mention my nacho.
Yeah. Go ahead. The nacho
Very
incident.
frustrated by
the
the
great
nacho.
nacho incident. Yeah.
Great nacho incident of 2017. So in my world where I come from, nachos are corn chips
Correct.
with cheese on them.
With nacho cheese.
And then like
Nacho
That's
cheese.
part of the
Because
whole
if
nacho
if
thing.
there's no cheese, they're just corn
They're
chips.
Corn chips.
Not nachos.
Because
And I would also go so far as to say that nachos have cheese and other stuff on top.
Yes.
Well,
right. Like,
Little
although-
chopped up
but
jalapenos.
the minimum to
the minimum, right.
nacho status
Exactly.
is cheese.
The absolute minimum.
Right? Like
the
the bare
floor
minimum
of
for nacho
nachos.
status is it must have
Right
nacho
there. Right.
cheese on them, right? Like you
In
can't-
addition to chips.
I would agree if you go to Taco Bell and you ask for nachos, the bare minimum is you get a little bag of chips and a little thing of cheese.
Right. Like I don't.
Let's go
Same
into
thing with
Taco Bell,
7-Eleven. Same thing
I
with
don't know that I've ever
Sheetz.
been
Same with
anywhere where I haven't ordered
Right.
nachos and gotten corn chips
and
with
cheese.
cheese.
So now that we've
So-
established
so
that,
I did the mobile ordering, and I was hungry. We hadn't eaten all day, and it was later in the day. So I ordered, I don't remember what I got to eat, and I ordered a side of nachos.
right?
So I go up, and there happened to be a guy next to me who had got nachos, and he got nachos and it came with a cup of nacho cheese next to it.
Right.
So mine show up, and there's no cheese. So I said,
it's not your cheese.
"It's not cheese." So I said, "Excuse me,
Yes,
you
I went there,
you
sorry.
forgot my cheese." And she's like, "Oh no, it doesn't.
Excuse me, you forgot my
You
cheese.
forgot my cheese.
Excuse me, you forgot
excuse me,
my
ma'am.
cheese.
You forgot my cheese." But so she says, "No, they don't come with cheese. They just come with the chips."
Chips.
I'm like, well, wait, like he got cheese, and she's like, no, it's an extra $1 for cheese.
What?
I said, it's an extra $1 for cheese. So she
And
said,
can we
yeah.
can we be real about the cheese? It looked like Alfredo sauce. It
was
wasn't
not.
orange.
Yeah, and that's true.
nacho cheese.
Although, you know what? I actually have been a couple places that lately that have done that with the quote-unquote nacho cheese not being nacho cheese. It's like some
So
sort
anyway,
of
so I
cheese
will
thing.
give. I'll turn a negative into a positive because
Right.
the woman behind the counter immediately said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. Like, here's some cheese. I won't charge you for it." So I was like, okay, and so but I was like, really?
We need some independent
$1?
confirmation that the nacho cheese does not come, or nacho chips don't come with cheese.
Just talking about that place, did
I
I,
think-
read
I
somewhere
just can't imagine.
that special nacho order that serves like 37 people is
Right.
discontinued?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
Yes, it is discontinued.
I thought I saw a headline about that. but I
They
didn't bother reading the
announced,
article.
Which wasn't
they
on the menu
announced
to
that
begin
it was,
with,
right? So it was
Right.
an unlisted item, but they actually announced it would no longer be served. I think that was like the week before we went down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then they did announce that there would be a new secret menu item somewhere at the Magic Kingdom. And as someone rightfully asked on the boards, how do we know when and
Then it wouldn't
when?
be secret.
Because it's a secret menu, right? So still no reports on if anyone's found it yet. But
Well, I know when
secret
when we
item.
went back
Go
in
ask him.
September and we stayed at All Star Music, I think they actually have. Oh no, it was movies. If you went up to in the food court and asked for the special menu, they would give you like a viewfinder.
Yeah.
The old viewfinders,
Yeah, I
and you can actually
remember
look
that.
at a menu,
It'd be a menu,
and I'm
yeah.
doing the thing.
It's a
You
GAF
could actually look at the
viewfinder.
menu, right? Look at the menu, and it was a special menu items. We didn't bother to do it, but
I
you know.
remember that. Yeah, I do
So-
remember that.
someone was going to try that.
Yeah, but we didn't get a chance.
Yeah, someone was at Pop and they were going to try that this trip.
All right, so where were we? So we did the Dole Whips, and then we did Tiki Birds.
Right.
No, we went on.
That was
we
not
went
on the
a-
schedule, but yes, we did do that.
That was an impromptu.
No, that
We
that
went on the
was- that was
carpets.
the birds.
We did carpets,
was
wasn't
not
right?
on the
Carpets was
schedule.
impromptu.
Yes.
That's right. I
Yes.
forgot about the carpet.
Because John
Right.
and Michelle's daughter
Michelle's
worked
daughter
there.
was. Yeah, but she was not working when we.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the carpets for giving me a mouthful of
Camel
Oh, that was
spit?
great.
Camel
Yeah.
spit.
camel
I
spit.
got who did I get sprayed? Somebody got sprayed in the ear due to my poor driving skills. Oh, that was yeah, I can't remember his name. That's
Patty's
embarrassing.
husband.
Brad. It was Brad.
Steve.
Brad.
No, I thought it was
no,
Steve.
Steve.
Was it Steve? I thought it was Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foghorn
Foghorn
Leghorn.
Leghorn.
Hang
As you'll
on.
forever
right,
be
hang-
known.
All right, yeah. Right.
He has to just
Sorry.
change his name now.
My
I know.
apologies, Steve, for getting squirted in the ear with my
With your horrible driving.
yeah, driving skills. I can't drive.
Aladdin,
That's
you will
hard.
not be.
No.
Nope. So after that, we kind of had a break, right, for a number
Had a
of
little
hours.
dinner break.
For a little bit. Yep.
Little,
And
Jeff, you and I
then
headed back to the hotel, didn't we?
I-
think we-
yeah,
I believe we did, sir. Yes.
we all
Yeah.
kind of went home to get cleaned up, and then at 7.
Yeah, it was
that
7
night,
o'clock.
Seven.
Yeah, 7.
We came down because we were luckily at the Contemporary, like we were at Bay Lake. So Jen and I came down and met you guys in the wave of American flavors.
The Blue Room,
The Ultra Lounge, as we called it.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
With
which
all
I
of
believe
our
we
glow
scared
sticks.
some people in there also.
Well, we were glowing pretty good at that point in numerous ways. But that began our Seven Seas Lagoon soiree.
That's right. And we had a special guest, Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick from the official ticket center. Yes. Hello.
Good for you, son.
Hello.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Patrick, you know.
Flight attendant.
Yeah, so Pat from the official ticket center, also a sponsor
Safety information
of Intercot, was there. And we began our rounds there, which then took us from the Ultra Lounge of the Contemporaries Wave of American Flavors onto the monorail, and then hopped over to, we ended up at Trader Sam's Outdoor Patio.
Yep.
Tiki Terrace.
Tambu Lounge was
Was mobbed.
Yeah, and
unfortunately,
our monorail
an
ride.
hour wait.
Yeah, monorail was fun.
Yeah, we had all our glow sticks, and somebody started playing that Jock Jam song. And we kind of took over a monorail
Y'all ready
car
for
with
this?
all of our with our flashing stuff. And so Ian was doing pull-ups on the monorail bars, and little kids were like, "What are they doing, Mommy?"
Mommy, what's the weird guy with the Philly shirt on doing? I still think I'm going to put in a plug. I still think it's the best idea ever for an after-hours event, though. Mm-hmm. Running the party rail on the Epcot beam after things have shut down. 2 hours after park closing, just does loops. Maybe even from 12 to 2.
I know, but what if you have to get off it? Like, I have to go to the bathroom. Too bad.
There'll be no. There will be no bathroom. I don't know. What do you do? I mean, maybe you get. Who knows?
Hop on, hop off.
Yeah, I think hop on, hop off at the Transportation and Ticket Center would probably be the easiest way to do it. And the bathrooms are right down at the bottom, right?
Or set a special monorail car with porta potties.
Oh no, it already smells like that. We don't need that. That would not.
Monorail. We don't need monorail brown.
Right.
Or yellow.
No, that'd be a big fat no. So
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
That's going to be a big no.
Well, there could be. You could either you would have a bar on the monorail, or you would set up a bar at the Transportation and Ticket Center and at Epcot Station, and you'd stop and you'd get your drinks, and then you'd hop back on, and the music would play and the lights would flash. I think it could be fun.
Well, it's like the high roller in Vegas, where they have that one special bar car.
You're getting my drift right there. Yeah, exactly. The high roller in Vegas does that, which is the monster Ferris wheel that's about at mid-strip, right behind the Link Hotel. And yeah, that's what they do. One of the cars is a bar car.
Right. Does the Orlando Eye have that also?
Does who?
The Orlando
Eye?
No, their cars are much smaller. Like where
I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, while I would recommend everyone do it because it does give you a pretty good view of the surroundings, but they do not have a bar car. They're much smaller. I would guess, and this is just me estimating, where the Las Vegas one probably is like 40 people a car or something like that, or 30.
I think it said 30.
30. Okay, 30. Yeah. Like it's at least half that, if not less, on the Orlando.
Well, we did the high roller 3 times, and 2 of the 3 times we had the car all to ourselves.
Did you?
So that was actually really cool.
You did the bar car?
No, not the bar car. So, no.
Yeah, it's like $30 for an hour, all you can drink. Going around.
How many loops around?
You just do one revolution. It goes very slow. It's like
okay.
Yeah. It's an hour or half hour. I can't remember.
Hour.
It's a half hour. Yeah.
It's all you can drink in that time, but you can only order, I believe, 2 drinks at a time. I took a picture of the sign just to because I was interested in it, and so it was pretty good. And you can't bring a drink off the cart with the
chug
with you.
chug.
Right.
Pretty much.
So there you go. What's wrong with that? They should do it.
Not a thing.
They should do it.
Not a thing.
Even if
Intercot Consulting.
Well, even if they did it on the regular loop instead of the Epcot loop too. I mean, because there's more to see on that. Just stops, keeps going around.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. Anyway, so we pioneered that idea. We did have beverages at the Polynesian, which I will, before I move on, because since we're talking about the Polynesian, they changed the menu at what's the restaurant with the Kona and the Kona bar?
Kona?
Yep. And my favorite volcano roll is no more.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Got rid of it, and I got to be honest with you, I think the prices went up at the same time, and the rolls that they have now were average at best. So not really pleased with that. That was pretty much my favorite place to go. Have a Kona longboard ale, get a volcano roll, maybe some chicken wings that are in the, forget what kind of sauce they had them, some sort of Polynesian type sauce, and they changed it. It's done, finished. So what are you gonna do? If you like the
a moment of
volcano
silence
roll,
for
I'm
the
sorry.
volcano roll.
Yes, I'm sorry. Anyway, partied there and then moved on to the Grand Floridian, where we felt very out of place.
Really out of place.
We were just a tad.
Well, first we couldn't find Meisner's Lounge.
Yeah, none of us.
Because Grand Floridian is not some place that's known for like, hey, let's bring a
party.
group.
Let's go hang out to the bar at the bar.
I do want to point out, I pointed everyone correctly, and then everyone else vetoed me, and we went downstairs.
Who let us
Oh,
downstairs?
yeah, we went up.
I think it was me. I'm pretty sure I was the one who had us
Were you-
wandering around.
Were you the one? It's like,
I'm
I
like,
think it's down here.
I think
Follow
I'll
me in, everyone.
So you have to picture the Grand Floridian is like very nice and prestigious, and then comes this horde of people with all this glowing crud all over them and
Yeah,
sparkly
lanyards
stuff.
and lights and blinking
We're like,
things.
whoa, where's the pub at, man?
Yeah.
They were very nice, though.
They
They
were.
were very nice. Gentlemen
Good
in
server.
tuxedos
Yeah.
served us, and
Yep.
it was quite lovely.
And the drinks
Yeah,
were good,
the-
quite
the
frankly,
wait
as well.
was
What
very
was that
tolerant
drink
of
that I
our-
drank? The brown liquor. What was the thing that I ordered?
Oh,
And I
you
couldn't.
had you had bourbon. It was a lot
You
of
get a
that a-
Manhattan?
Yeah.
you got it Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it was.
And I
it was,
thought that was like that's like a girly drink, but I was
Ew.
thinking
Ew.
no,
Not a Manhattan.
cosmopolitan.
Ew.
I was thinking
No,
cosmopolitan.
sorry.
So then she palmed it off on Jen, who then took like 3 sips and palmed the rest of it off on me. Which
And then
did-
I had a glass of like red juice stuff, and set it down behind Ian, who knocked it.
And then Carolyn
And then
spilled it on my butt.
The poor Ian had a red bum.
I didn't though, actually. I managed to.
You were okay. All right. Sorry.
And then that led to afterwards a fun convertible ride home, top down.
Yes. Everybody
of us.
left. The 4 of us.
We're left.
We need to get back to our hotel. There's no monorails running anymore. It's like 2 a.m. So
Yeah,
we took a little car ride. We had to get gas, and then we had to get to the Bay Lake Tower, and it started to rain.
Yeah, so I realized that pretty much I was out of gas and ended up at a gas station. But we had the top down, and because I thought it'd be a little more comfortable for the people in the back. I have a Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible, which essentially has really not much in the way of a back seat. It should be a 2-seater, but I guess
I
because of
did hear there
insurance,
was some
it's a
awesome
4-seat.
music playing, though.
But yes, I believe the Canadians requested some Chicago.
Well,
and
we liked Chicago, but it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. But
Ian
said it
was
a bit of a
Ian
snore
was like
fest.
it was
Snore
bad.
fest.
I don't mind
It was a
Chicago,
little-
but this was
It
bad.
was a little
Chicago.
too. It was a little too cocktail jazzy for me. I could have done without it.
So, and what we didn't realize
like
is as we were driving around and we went past the front gate, of course, to get back to where Carolyn was staying, we had to do this monster-sized loop. There was really no way to turn around. And at some point, it started raining, and we didn't realize it until really we came to a stop, and it's like it's raining. So we finished our trip.
Speed up.
Speed up! The rain won't
We
Can't
didn't get
feel
wet
the
if we
rain.
drove faster. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made it. It was fine. It could be worse. Created, as Carolyn said, yet another car story. A story about.
Yeah, I
people
know.
in
Every
the
time
car.
I go out with
We
you
always
guys,
have
we
some
always have crazy
Vehicular
car stories.
drama.
So now, what time were you guys getting back? Now, what time is this? Because Dawn and I left you guys at
It
the
was
Poly.
11:30-ish.
We bailed out then.
Yeah, we
It was
stayed,
around
No.
11. It was
we
around
stayed for a
11:30.
while.
No, it wasn't, Ian. It was after midnight.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
you're right. 'cause
remember
actually,
we
John
sat
and I didn't get back
outside?
to our hotel till almost 2. You're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
We were outside on the patio chatting for like hours after everybody else
Yeah,
left.
yeah. I forgot about. Oh, that's right. With the crazy
The crazy old man that came by.
Yep.
gentleman that shared his point of view with us.
He's he's a fine, upstanding citizen.
fine.
A fine citizen.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but that was a good night.
He did
And
good.
then we just had to be up at the crack of dawn the next morning
Butt
because
crack
we
of
had to
dawn.
go.
Mhm.
We were going to Epcot to get in standby for Soarin', so it's like be there for rope drop, everybody.
Right.
Listen, after Run Disney, nothing seems like the butt crack of dawn. To
That
me.
is
No,
true.
that's true.
True.
That's
Yeah,
I think I
that
slept
is-
till like 7:30, which was like luxurious.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
we
got-
got there. We got there. We were waiting right underneath Spaceship Earth at the rope when they dropped it, and away we went to Soarin'.
Yeah, that's the first time we've been at rope drop at Epcot in a long time. I mean, we haven't done that in forever.
Do they do anything special now?
Nope.
Or no?
They had
No.
the guys that play the trash cans,
The Jaminators. Yeah, they were out there. Yeah.
and then they just kind of open the thing, and everybody goes taking off.
Well, to
But
the
it-
right
like,
over
I
there,
mean-
they had not Minnie, Daisy, taking pictures, and there was nobody there. It was just odd that they had one character and nobody was taking pictures with her.
We need more
Man.
characters.
So of course, Soren and I
Michael.
went over and had a nice little picture.
Not a
with,
boardroom.
Daisy.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, chairman of the Walt Disney Company. We need more characters. All right, thank you for the setup
filled
there.
We filled Soarin'. We had to have we have like 2.5 rows for people.
Yes, we did. We had a
we
nice
did that.
nice group of folks in the Soarin'.
Most of us.
And then we had breakfast.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
grab and go breakfast.
At Sunshine Seasons.
That's right.
Yes, and then Cindy started this whole thing rolling about behind the scenes tour.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't think
Oh,
I
right.
really necessarily started it. You kind of ran with it. Katarina started it.
Well, Katarina started it,
Well,
and then
thank
you
you,
mentioned it
Katarina.
to Dawn, and then Dawn mentioned it to me, and then it just snowballed from there.
And they
Wow.
told two friends, and they told two
And they
friends,
told two
and
friends,
so on,
and they told-
and so on, and so on. And before we
And,
know it, we
yeah.
had a whole tour group.
Yeah, it was
going.
the first time I had ever done it, and well, I know
Yeah,
we're
it
jumping
was
ahead
good.
in the day, but Taylor, I think that was her name. She was
Yeah.
actually she was fun, and
She was
Smart.
she was
She was
in.
a, she was a guide.
Yeah, Ian
was smart.
didn't enjoy
She's
the
a
tour.
scientist.
No, you know what? It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I had already done it before, and I don't know. It's the second time it lost a little bit of its luster.
I
will
got
admit.
to be with Ian on that one. Same thing
Yeah.
for me. I mean,
It was
I had,
sort of
I had
like-
done
I
it
was like,
before, so
you know-
once you've done it, you've done it, and
No, like I said, I had never done it, so it was
Yeah.
new.
No,
for
it
me,
was fine.
so.
It wasn't that I didn't.
I enjoyed it.
enjoy It was
unless
all right.
you're into horticulture, in which case,
I
you know.
thought the
I think too it was hot because we've done it before too. But when we did it before, we did it in January.
Right.
It was really nice in January. It was because I think first of all, for those of you who aren't here, it's been hot in
Yeah, by the way,
Florida
who
for
knew
October.
Florida was hot?
It was.
Yeah, who
it's,
knew?
it's been hotter than
Well,
usual
hot. Yeah,
for
it was
October,
hot.
and it was really hot in the greenhouse. So I would not recommend if you don't like being hot doing the tour in the hotter months because it
It
just
was-
intensifies in there. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little warm.
Yeah, I thought it was warm the whole time we were there. Actually, I thought it was unseasonably warm. Really, it was.
It was.
Fine.
It's actually just finally nice here now. This week the temperatures have dropped a little bit, but I will tell you, even this week we had mornings in the 40s, but we were up to like 82 yesterday afternoon. It's just taken a long time to cool down this year.
It's been colder there than it has been here in New
I
York.
was gonna say it hasn't been really cool here either. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, we've
No.
had. I mean, the lowest it's been has been maybe low 50s. You know,
Oh, same here.
But see, it doesn't last here, so it's like
And
a
this is
really
Weather talk. Weather
Yeah,
talk here on Intercom.
so anyway, we did
Five.
we did the tour and it was fun. What did we do after that?
well, we're jumping ahead.
Dude,
so
Jen,
we did
Jen got
breakfast.
to feed the gross fish.
Oh yeah,
Carolyn,
yeah.
I wanted you to do that so bad. Oh, did I want you to do that, Carolyn?
They
Carolyn.
said who's got the next birthday, and Jen says, "Oh, mine's on Tuesday. Okay, we need you to come volunteer." And they stood her up on this thing, and she had a big jar full of fish food, and they said, "Just like toss the whole fish food into the water, and the tilapia are gonna go crazy." And they're like, "Oh, Carolyn, you should go video this." Nope, I will be back
You're a fan
staring
of
at the
fish.
wall,
Did
hiding behind people.
anybody else notice that the fish didn't seem all that jazzed to be getting fed? I mean, it was
No,
like
but they probably like
food.
Probably get
5
fed
minutes
too much.
before had already been feeding them. So.
I know. Yeah, I wondered.
Well, each
Yeah.
bottle had a time on it. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they get fed at certain times, obviously.
Yes. You know,
Yeah.
the last time I did the tour, they did not feed the fish, but they still had the alligators. I think the last time I did it, they brought out one of the little baby alligators, but since they're gone
wow.
now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, they got rid of the alligators. That's right. I forgot. That was the first time I'd been through there since they got rid of them.
Yeah, and what they say they were putting in there? They were putting something.
I remember.
I don't remember.
I don't
I
remember
found,
either.
I found the rationale for getting rid of the alligators was sort of humorous, though. It was like, we studied them for 13 years, and then we realized that we really weren't learning anything, so we just got rid of them.
I believe
They
said
shipped them out to
they weren't
Gatorland or
learning
something.
anything new. I believe is what
Yeah,
they
13
said.
Yeah,
years.
they were seeing if they do better in freshwater, saltwater combination. They realized it
seemed
didn't matter. So
But it took them 13 years to figure that out. Like,
But
seemed
did
like kind of
anyone think maybe because of what happened?
yeah, that was
No.
my thought.
Yeah.
well,
I
yeah,
think
but they're
that's the
not
real
gonna say
reason
that.
behind,
Yeah.
Because if you
Like,
notice, the
I'm-
crocodiles on the safari in Animal Kingdom were gone for a little bit there also.
There's a couple alligators missing from the land ride at Epcot too. You can see where they used to bolt into the ground. The ones that were really close to the boat, they're gone.
Really?
Yeah, there's one on the left
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
You know, I
that could be
I didn't
just that
actually-
they're not working.
No,
Kinda-
but it left like right after that
Oh,
happened. 'Cause
really?
I had a trip. Yeah.
Just remember ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps. We also filled the queue at the Grand Fiesta Tour, which is kind of
Yes.
like It's a Small World from ICOT20,
Right.
but it was Minnie. It's a Small World, and I'm just going through the pictures right now on our Facebook of the pictures, and yeah, we filled it.
Before that, we did the Mickey bar, right?
Yeah, but unfortunately
Yes.
didn't have
Yeah.
a Mickey bar cart anywhere near where we were
Yeah.
having our meet.
We
which
should
was-
have probably
Yeah.
researched that.
Yeah,
who made this
Jason,
schedule
Dawn, and I-
anyway?
Jason, Dawn, and I got there a little early, and we're like, uh-oh, there is no carts here.
So,
We got cute
But it was on the
pictures,
other
though.
side of the fountain.
yeah, there was a stand. There was a permanent stand on the other side of the fountain. So
On the other
What
side
was
of water.
on
what
the
was
front
the
side.
name of the other little girl? I totally forgot her name. That's holding the little picture frame with Katarina.
Was that Heather's daughter?
I think it was
Yeah.
Heather's daughter, and I should know her name.
I know, she's so cute, and I forget her name.
Well, Heather
Anyway,
put up, I don't know if
thank you
anyone
for
saw her on
helping.
the boards, Heather put up a nice day-by-day, play-by-play almost on the Intercot boards, Intercot.com. So,
Oh, you heard of it?
yeah, once or twice.
Discussion boards. You mean
Discussion board,
there are
that's the word.
places that people talk other than on Facebook and Twitter
Yes.
and Instagram
Yes.
and
There is.
Snapchat?
Not really.
Snapchat.
Yeah,
Who does Snapchat?
I don't know.
I did.
Yes, we've seen your ear and bunny and whatever pictures.
Right.
I know,
of
I'm-
Carolyn.
Every
Yeah, stop
animal.
on by the boards. There's lots of people there looking for help.
Lots of nice people.
Yes, friendly people.
And Ian.
We okay, so that's kind of all a jumble because I don't know which we did first, and when we went to the Mexico Pavilion and when we had our little non-Mickey bar meet, but we did all those things that afternoon, and then we ended up at Senor Gary's column,
Yes, we did end up at
Senor Road Furniture.
Gary's column, which you can check
Yes.
into, by the way, on I think it's
Facebook,
Foursquare,
Foursquare.
or what Swarm. I think it is Foursquare Swarm now. I can't keep up with it.
Swarm.
And on Facebook, yes.
Swarm.
So got our obligatory picture. You made our obligatory. What do you want to say?
The sacrificial
Sacrificial
drink.
drink to the column.
Yes.
Thank you, Carolyn. I lost it there. But yeah, and checked in, did our Facebook pictures and stuff, and then moved on to Canada, where we,
Yes, we did, actually.
celebrated the Canadian 150th birthday.
Where somebody dominated at Canadian trivia.
Someone
was
cheated at
close.
Canadian trivia.
It was close. We had 3 winners. We had Ian.
Let's be real. There was really only one.
Was
winner.
it Brad? Was Brad second place? No, who was second place? John Carbonara was third place.
Carbonara was. Oh, I thought
He
John
was third.
Well, no, actually, didn't I come in second?
Justin was second.
I was
You
in
got,
like
you got the magnet? Did you
I
get
was
the
like
magnet?
in third.
I
or
got the
something.
magnet, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
John,
yeah, Justin came in second.
I was in
John
third.
was third.
I was in
Yes.
third.
Oh, you were in third. Okay, yeah.
Right. We
That's
all
right. I knew it
studied
was
up on our
John.
Canadian trivia.
That's good.
Before.
And who remembers what a double is?
I did not get that question right.
Isn't it coffee and cream?
Yes, a regular coffee, right.
No, it's a coffee with two
That's
creams
double
and two
cheese,
sugars.
double
There you go.
burger,
And like I told you then, that's a regular
double
coffee.
double.
Is that
That's
what
a
you
Carl's
guys call
Jr.
just a regular?
Coffee regular.
Coffee regular is milk and 2 sugars.
Oh, but it's
Cream.
This is like
And 2
two
sugars. That's
cream
milk.
and sugars, not milk.
Not milk. I like
sorry.
the cream. Half
And
half.
when you go to Tim
Gotta be cream.
Hortons, it's not even just like regular cream that you would buy at the grocery store to put in your coffee. It's like condensed milk. Like it's like
Right.
you would
It's a
bake with it normally,
sweetened
but
milk.
that's what they serve at the restaurant. So then, because nobody can figure out why can't I make it taste like when I order it at Tim Hortons itself.
Now the
You gotta
secret
have
is
the
out.
right stuff. The secret is out, folks.
Now we know.
Get your double doubles.
Yep.
No, that was
Double,
fun.
Double.
We
Yes.
we tried to trick you all into believing that it was a rule that
Yeah, that
when you're
children in
13
Canada
years
have the
old, there's
mandatory ice
mandatory hockey camp time. Like how some countries have mandatory army time, we have mandatory hockey camp time.
It was
So
actually very funny where we were set up and how we were like across the little
It was actually
walkway.
kind of humorous.
And how
Yeah.
people were just walking through as we're doing our trivia, and they're just looking at us like, "What are you people
We're like
doing?"
shouting.
Going on. Well,
random-
I think they were trying to figure out if there was like a little show going on and whether kind of
Oh, there
like
was
there
a
are
show
street
going on.
performers.
There was a show.
There are street
there
performers.
absolutely was a
Canadian
show.
streetmosphere.
Yes, exactly.
Hello,
coming to
Abe.
Epcot. Coming to
Intercot
Epcot.
real life Canadians met a real life Canadian from Canada there also,
yeah.
just walking through.
Yes, walking through. I know. We're everywhere. You just can't tell. We're stealthy like that.
They almost look like real people.
Yeah, I know, right?
Almost.
So we finished
Like-
that.
like-
Yes.
And then everybody kind of went and did their own thing, but we went to a group of us went to Via Napoli.
Oh, and we had the great challenge.
It was kind of our
Which-
staff
which
dinner
way
almost,
was-
That's
The
right.
quickest walk around
Canada.
World Showcase.
Yeah, that
in
was not a
Canada.
challenge at all. Somebody's just geometrically challenged is the issue. They're like, well, it's got to be faster to walk 3/4 of the way around the circle than it is a quarter. Didn't work.
I don't know.
We
I'm
were-
gonna
So
look. I'm
I
gonna look
took
on a
off-
map.
We clearly won.
I
took off behind
still think
Ian
it's about
and
the
Justin,
same.
and you two are fast walkers.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about? We
think there was some
strolled.
running.
It was-
We
Yeah, somebody was
strolled the
running.
whole
Meanwhile, we
way.
were
No,
walking.
Not
and-
run in Epcot during
They
the
were
food
no,
line.
they weren't
I'm
running.
not buying
They were
it.
bobbing and weaving. Like there'd be like
Yeah,
a group of
see,
people and they'd
it's
zip
coming
around
out
them.
now. I knew
I
it.
don't know what you're talking,
there
Carolyn. I
wasn't
don't know what you're
running.
talking
I knew
about.
it.
It
It's
wasn't running. It was just fast walking, like zipping around. And then we
Is
got
that the
there.
Carlton dance, John?
No, doing the Rocky.
Yeah,
look at
Avoiding the punches. The bob and weave.
Serpentine. So we got there and had no trouble adding one more person to. We got Gina to join us for dinner as well. So
Right.
Right.
So we got we
yeah.
got the big pizza, and everybody was happy, and their bellies were fat to move on to Jellyrolls. Then
And our
Oh,
server
yes.
took an awesome
Which-
selfie with us.
I'm gonna say, I was not impressed by Jellyrolls this time.
Me neither.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna say
the
it.
music choice.
It was
I'm
like
with you, John.
I know,
I
it
was
was
not
just
feeling it
weird.
either.
Yeah,
Didn't
it was
get me going at all.
weird music. Like we've been there before. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's a changing of the guard and the people who are going to Jellyrolls, and maybe they're skewing to a different audience or something. But it seemed like it was a lot of down tempo stuff when we got there. Really didn't get you in the mood, and they broke out Piano Man early in the night, and it's just like, usually that stuff's later, and
I know it's a piano bar, but I'm so over Piano Man. I'm sorry. Just. I know
No,
it's
he
probably
played-
sacrilege to say that, but yeah, Billy Joel, I love Billy Joel, but Piano Man, really? Ugh.
Didn't they play Only the Good Die Young?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
it was a twofer,
Too, though.
2 for Tuesday, but
but
it wasn't
wasn't
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Like,
right?
so it was weird because they started out with this like early, like really slow, weird. Like they played like
They played some Bryan
Celine
Adams.
Dion.
Oh, yeah, they played.
Yeah,
they
Everything
played My
I
Heart
Do.
Will Go On.
Oh yeah,
Hey, the guy did a good
they
version of
my-
Eminem,
Yeah, they did.
Lose Yourself. He did a good version of that. I will say that.
That was okay, but I mean, it was this really odd. Like in the beginning, you should be trying to get people, excited and pumped, and they were playing like this awful, like adult contemporary, like really weird music.
And just for some perspective, I mean, we all have been there many, many times, and I've been there plenty of times outside of the ICOT events, and never disappointed. I mean, pretty much any time I've ever gone there. So this was kind of unusual that we all were kind of like looking at each other like, what the heck? What is going on here?
And then all of a sudden they burned through like 3 or 4 of their go-to end of the night songs.
Right. When everybody's
nobody was really in the mood yet. And then I wasn't feeling it either. It was really odd. And then we found that guy out on the boardwalk, and that was kind of the end of the end of the evening.
I was worried he was dead.
Yeah, somebody who was overserved. And just nobody was paying attention to him at all.
It was really odd.
In the moment of kindness,
we clearly passed out on a bench, and not just a little passed out, like a lot passed out. And there were at the club that's across from Jellyrolls. I mean, there were guys working the door, standing there
in clear view of the guy who was passed out.
They had no interest in helping the guys, so I went and told the folks working at Jellyrolls, and they were sort of disinterested. Like the guy's direct quote was like, "Oh, I've seen a lot worse than that." And I was kind of like, "Well,
it's old hat.
Maybe you should not have people passing out on the boardwalk." They didn't appear to.
Family atmosphere.
I went over and gave him a little shake. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of mumbled and fell back asleep. Yeah.
They did ultimately go help him, but they were strangely disinterested in.
Yeah, that was a weird.
Well,
moment.
did they help him or just another guest?
No, they brought security came along and eventually.
But then another guest walked away with him, and
but that was the other really weird thing. Instead of security helping him back to the hotel and making sure he got somewhere, they sent him off with some complete stranger.
Right.
Actually, Carolyn, I believe you walked with us down towards the exit of the boardwalk. He was actually just down, maybe 3 stores down at another bench.
Yeah, back to sleep again. He was asleep again. Oh, they ditched him.
Awesome.
But Jen and I took our first Lyft ride from there ever.
Lyft? Not a minivan?
Yeah. Nope. And Uber, I cannot get the Uber app to work, so we downloaded Lyft because there was a thing in our hotel room
Canadian
that was
phone.
like, there was something like when we signed up for Lyft, it was like, oh, you can get
$5
it was
or
like
a free
coupon
ride or something.
Yeah. So we did that, and we took Nick. We made a new friend, Nick. He waited with us too because he was waiting for his friend to be picked up or to pick him up, and we got into the Lyft, and we were like, are we going to be murdered?
Yes. Dawn and I were waiting for our lift, and Carolyn and Jen goes, should we ask if we're going to be murdered? I'm like,
so cute.
Because you don't know, right? He's not like a professional taxi man. He could be like a bad guy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes,
and
they
this is
are.
like
They're
his
professionals.
secret way of like picking up little Canadians that don't know any better.
Well,
but anyways, he was quite lovely, and he got us back to our hotel fine.
I mean, I've never used Lyft yet, so I've only ever used Uber. But, I mean, I would imagine it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, I can see who my driver is, what their car is, how many rides they've given, what their rating is, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you know somebody who's done like 4,000 rides. I mean, I think you were fairly okay.
Yeah, we used Lyft a couple of times.
What if you are the one? You know, I don't know.
I suppose you never know.
You just never know.
Canada, and finally it happened. You don't know.
Life's rolling the dice sometimes, you know.
It's risky, but we did it, man.
Yep.
Rebels.
No, we did. But we got home okay that night, and it wasn't too late. I think it was maybe...
No, because we were
one-ish?
Yeah, because we were disappointed in the Jellyrolls music. We called it a night a little bit early. Now, just because we're on the subject, when you're talking about Lyft, I mean, did anybody try? Jason, did you try a minivan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Jason's got to get the phone. Stand by.
Hold on.
All right.
Okay.
Didn't you tell your secretary to hold all your calls?
I know.
Goodness gracious. All right, so you tried the minivan, right?
Yes, tried the
same
minivan
idea.
a couple times actually. Yeah, so it's through the Lyft app.
Oh, it is through Lyft.
So it's done through the Lyft app. and it's like a separate option on the Lyft app. So when you select it, it gives you that option. You can see if it's available or not.
When you choose your car, you
When
get
you
to
choose
choose
your
a
car,
minivan?
you can choose the minivan, right?
Okay, all right.
They said there's about 30 cars right now.
Yep.
So it was not available really all the time. So they said park closed. It's very hard to get one.
Right.
If you're going somewhere else, if you're at the park, that's where they all are, and it was pretty easy. But it was really nice. I liked it. They had some nice drop-off spots. Justin, Don, and I did one from the Contemporary to the Animal Kingdom the last day, and they have a nice kind of drop-off spot there right at the buses.
Right.
Magic Kingdom, they drop you off again where the buses were. I did it there, and I did it to Disney Springs the one time. That was the only one that was kind of out in a weird place, but Disney Springs is pretty spread out, so
Yep.
That's just kind of the way it is. But it was a nice option.
It was
But
very
right now-
comfortable. The back seats had, the captain's seats or whatever you call them, and they had a cell phone charger. So if you needed a charge, you could charge your phone right there. It was very comfortable.
But right now, only available at select resorts, right? Because I thought we tried to
Yeah,
get
we tried
at
one
some
from
point,
the Contemporary.
And they were like, are you
and
staying
they wouldn't
here?
Take
And they
us
were
to
like, nope.
No, the
Right.
issue, they wouldn't take us to Old Key West. That was the problem. I
Yeah,
think if
right
we
now
wanted
it's
to
just
go to like the Grand
Wow,
Floridian
right.
or somewhere. They would have
Right.
taken us, but they just wouldn't take us to Old Key.
you have to be staying at one of the participating hotels.
How do they
It's
know?
the opposite, because they install the app. So they send a special code to your phone
okay,
after you install the Lyft app. Otherwise, it won't show up. So like I had to stop by the desk there I was staring at the boardwalk, and they had to send you a code.
So if you were at a select resort where it is being offered, and let's say you were going to dinner at Old Key West, for whatever reason, you're going to Olivia's, could you get dropped off there
Yeah.
and picked up there?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you can get picked up
they'll
there
pick you
also?
up there. Yeah.
Because they know
'Cause it's
that
on-
you are
They know
one
that
of
you're
the
one of the
fancy
Okay,
resort
select-
that
people.
explains how it works.
Yeah.
So you have to get the app installed
right.
when you got you.
They because I asked that actually, and at least that's what they said. Because the only resort I went to resort was to the Polynesian, which was participating. But they said if you have access to the app, they will do that. So that should be rolled out. They said it's a 6-month trial with Lyft.
Gotcha.
So after that point, they may have their own app, or might go through the My Disney experience. But they
Yeah, it would have to, because then
probably,
that's how
I
it
think they're
knows
gonna
that
continue to
you're at
do
a
it.
hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
It seemed pretty popular. I can't imagine they wouldn't continue it.
Yeah, like I said, it was a very comfortable ride. The driver was very nice. Steven, I believe his name was.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really nice.
I have a question about that, though. Jen and I were talking the other night. She's got a trip coming up, and she's wondering about it. If you are at the Magic Kingdom, where does the Lyft pick you up? Do you have to go back to the Ticket and Transportation Center?
Lyft would pick
or
you up.
Lyft
at
or
Ticket and
or
Transportation.
minivans or anywhere?
Minivan would pick you up. It's near the buses.
Wow. Okay, that's a big
Actually
advantage then,
yeah,
right
there's
there.
a bus stop
Yeah.
that it's like number 4 or something. It
Because
may
we were
change.
trying to think of all the ways that, like, how can I get out of the Magic Kingdom without having to wait in a lineup for a monorail?
Minivan is the only one that'll pick you up by the buses.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
So that finished up our Jellyrolls night, and then the next
Yes,
morning,
it did.
everybody
Yep.
up bright and early. We're going to see Pandora at Animal Kingdom,
Yep.
and we did it. We managed
Yeah.
to roll
We
out of
did,
bed.
yeah. And it
And as
actually
we
wasn't that
pulled in-
terrible either, really.
No, as we pulled into Animal Kingdom, I look over my shoulder because I'm driving in my car, and I look over, and there's the orange Eclipse.
What was
right
really
behind
funny was
us.
I had literally just sent Carolyn a text message that says, "Where are you guys?" And then I looked up and they were right behind us.
Hello. Right.
We're
Yeah,
in
we
front
were
of
right
They
there.
were in front of us.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
So we got there, and they
at rope
you
drop.
know,
Yep.
at rope drop, and they try and, like, the whole group corrals behind one rope, and then they try and
lot of
march
people.
you another 100 feet, and then you stop there, and then they march you like another.
It's
So
very
it's not a
controlled. It's
mad
probably
rush.
it's probably better because when we did I don't know, as little as like 3 or 4 weeks before that, it seemed like they just let everybody run, and it was like a mad dash for going over there. And then this time, I actually liked the way they did it. They kind of like segmented it, so you could only go so far, which meant that nobody was really running so much.
Yeah, that was. I really liked that they sort
No,
of.
when we went in August and
Yep.
they opened the turnstiles, it was a free for all through the Oasis. I mean, people
Hoping
were
that
full
they-
out sprinting.
I'm hoping that they realized that was a really dangerous situation and decided
Exactly.
not to continue.
It did seem like they have it under control, and I would say there were at least probably three segmented points on the way there. And we got there. I will say, we got there at rope drop. If you don't have a fast pass, that is the best way to do it. And don't be fooled, because initially we're queuing
Well,
up
they
for.
marched us all around Avatar Land. Like you couldn't walk directly to the ride. They were forcing everybody down this path and down that
And
path,
over that
just to
way,
get
and-
close to the ride.
Right.
And by the time we finally weaved our way through all of Avatar Land in this lineup, and then got to the actual entrance of Flight of Passage, the sign said 150 minutes or something?
Yeah, something like that. But
And we were thinking, oh my gosh, like that's not good.
But
And we made out all right.
yeah, we did. And the queue then setting us up went. I guess there's a back entrance kind of, or a back exit to Avatar Land, and they sent us down way back down this bridge, and Ian is getting cranky already. He's like, no ride is worth this. No ride is worth this
By
wait.
the way, after riding it, that didn't change my opinion.
No, but to the point where, oh God, here we go. Hold that for a second. Here we go. But the point being, we got in this huge long line, and from the moment that we got in the line, and we thought, oh, this is going to be forever to get through this. It was only like 30 minutes. They were actually taking us not through the regular queue, but were pushing us quickly through the fast pass queue and into then the ride itself.
It was really
Even though we
surprised
didn't
how
have a fast pass.
Right. So there was to the right, I guess,
John-
was a fast pass, and I think this maybe is it going to future be like a single rider kind of line or
Well,
something.
there
Like,
was
I don't
one,
know.
but they've closed it.
Right. But that's where
I
they
don't
were
know
putting
how we
everybody.
got where
Yeah.
we were, because John, you've been in that ride 100 million times, and you've said like,
10
okay,
times.
coming up, then you're gonna go through the
Through the-
lab, and you're
then
gonna
you're
see
gonna
that
go through
floating
the
guy, and then
rainforest
you're gonna
kind
go
of
through
area.
a forest.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're like, oh my God, this line's gonna be forever. And then we passed by a window, and we're
And
like,
I'm
oh,
like-
the lab is in there, but
I'm like,
we're not
oh, that's
in that
the lab.
room.
We skipped the whole line, and we're at the end. So I didn't quite understand that. If the queue is meant to hold how many hours worth of people, like
It's like 6.
yeah, something like that. Why did they send us all through the
Yeah, like
fast
why are
pass
you
line?
crowding
That
up
was
the
kinda
outside
weird.
land?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, because the Africa entrance was also part of the line at that point. They only
Right.
opened that walkway
Exactly.
until later in the day.
Yep.
which is
Yeah, because
kinda
people were
odd.
jumping the line.
Yeah.
People going in that way, they found if they walked instead of the first left to go in by Tiffin's, if they went down by the Lion King Theater and came in that way, people would jump in the line.
Well,
Which,
I suppose that
you know.
makes sense. Although, again, having people queue outside on a hot day when you've got a queue that has a lot of inside areas would have seemed to have made more sense. Plus, you don't see all the this maybe
cool
too many
stuff.
people were stopping and looking at things. I don't know what was going on, but
Maybe they
They
just
know
tried to
the-
push
just wanna
people through that early.
just want to push them through initially. So
Does anybody see the irony in that? Like, they spend all this time and energy like adding all this stuff to the queue, but then they're like, no, you can't stop and look at it. Like,
Yeah,
hurry up. We're going to bypass that part.
I thought that was a little puzzling, but we did make it. Like I said, it was probably about 30 minutes total.
Yep.
Wait.
It was about 35 minutes.
Yep.
From
the
literally
time
the
we
moment
actually
stopped
stopped
and-
and got in line. Now that didn't include the walking back there, and that didn't include
Right.
the
I mean, the reality
funneling
was-
around. It was probably about
reality
an
was
hour.
we probably dedicated about an hour
Yep.
to getting on the ride, I would say. Yeah.
But-
To-
I thought it was
Now,
going to be much worse.
I will
Right, so
speak
did I.
on Jen's behalf. She thought the ride was wonderful. There was one part that when you ride it, you know what I'm talking about. We'll call them like rhinoceros,
Yeah.
but they're not. They're alien, and they sort of crashed into each other. And she was like audibly like, "Oh my god!" during the ride.
Right.
She really liked it.
Yeah.
And then there was Ian.
And then there's Ian. 'Cause-
let me be clear. I did not like it. I mean, it wasn't like I was like, "Oh my god, that ride was terrible." But I mean, I didn't at all think it lived up to the hype. I mean, it's like Soarin' Next Generation. Well, I thought it was a little too cartoony. The video I thought was kind of blurry. Like a lot of times the motion was a little bit. Maybe it's just my old eyes. I don't know. But it was all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good attraction, but I mean, it's not. I didn't think it was anywhere near worth all the crazy hype about it.
Ian, it's a good attraction.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a good attraction.
Yeah.
I don't.
But where were you seated? Where were you seated, Ian, on the line? Like you in the middle or on the side?
We were
I was
on
at
one
the
of the
end.
side
He would have
screens.
been like
Yeah.
the fourth seat in.
Yeah, I was
Fourth seat
number
in.
4.
Because the only thing that I can say, and I agree, I mean, I like it, but you notice we didn't do it because I didn't have fast passes and I wasn't going to wait for it again when we've done it. But there's a considerable difference in the ride experience from being on the side to being in the center, for sure.
I mean,
when we did it in the
wouldn't say
center, it was way better than when we did it on the side.
I want to say I was pretty close to the center, although I don't know.
No, you weren't. You were you were all the way on the left side.
Yeah.
I
I
can tell
had a
you were.
blurriness issue too, actually, but I thought that might just be my bad eyes.
I don't know. I
Very
thought
high
maybe it was just
prescriptions.
my old eyes, not maybe I can't deal with the refresh rate or something.
Nah, it's probably.
I mean, again,
I love it.
definitely
Yeah.
overplay it and say it was a bad attraction. 'Cause that's not at all what I'm saying.
I'm gonna.
I've ridden
I'll
it,
just
I
say it
think-
again. One of the best amusement park attractions, period, that I've
I
been
think
on.
I've ridden it 3 or 4
I-
times, and each time I let out like a
Yep.
woo.
Me
just
too.
When you know, and it just
A
pops
woo.
out. You just like,
Well,
like,
at
yeah,
one
woo,
point,
woo.
there's a thing where it goes up and then it goes down and kind of
Yes.
swoops down, and
Yeah, that's
it
kinda-
really feels like it's happening.
You're flying. Yeah,
But,
no,
but I guess
absolutely.
I was expecting something that was like, groundbreaking, like I've never seen it before, and it definitely wasn't that. It was, I thought, relatively
I thought it
derivative.
was pretty groundbreaking, but all right.
I mean, how could you say that?
Hey,
It's just
to
another-
each their own, baby.
How can I
Yeah,
say that? I
it's
think it's
your-
one of the
it's
best
not your
simulator
type of
rides
thing.
on the planet right now.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't disagree.
I mean,
with you.
I think it's a fantastic simulator ride, and I think it took things to the next level. And I think the fact that you're on a moving car in front of a big screen, it just kind of makes it look
it had
very
a lot of
real
nice-
to me. And there were a
had
lot of
a
nice
lot of nice-
visuals and
little touches. Like I liked how the Banshee like breathes under you.
Right.
I thought
Yes,
that was really cool.
awesome.
I don't know.
I
You're just
agree. It does
jaded.
take the. It
Well-
does take the.
well, for
The
perspective.
only thing I don't like is the pre-show, the 2 pre-shows, the one where you got to move around, and it just move around. No, move around again. No, move around again. It's like, really? Do we really
yeah.
need that?
Where it can tell if you're standing on your little circle or whatever.
Yeah,
in the lineup.
it was just a little too long, that part, and then you go from that pre-show to the next pre-show to no, I mean the ride itself is fantastic, but the pre-show I think is just too long.
So I agree with you, Justin. The only reason I just don't ever sweat pre-shows is because the other option is you're just waiting in line doing nothing. So I always figure some kind of pre-show entertainment is better than just doing nothing. But I agree with you. I thought it was kind of like.
So for comparison, Ian, what's the best theme park attraction in your eyes right now, currently?
Haunted
It's
Mansion.
a small world.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted
Really?
Mansion, wow.
Still my favorite.
Is that your sentimentality?
I
or
mean,
do you-
Pirates or Haunted Mansion. No, it's just what I like in a Disney attraction. I don't. Those ones are.
You know, I get that, Ian. I do. I really like
get it.
Pandora, but I get that. It's a classic sort of fantasy with all of that extra things. It's a different experience. It's a non-digital experience more versus a digital and different.
I'm not a big fan of the
You're not a
first of
thrill
all,
ride guy.
No, I love thrill rides, but Soarin' is one thing because it's like a movie, right? It's like the old Soarin' was like a movie.
Yeah.
This one, it's like it literally. I was like, oh, this is like Xbox. It's like it looks like a really good Xbox game. It just wasn't. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't.
And I also
don't really
I've
call the
ridden the Navi River Journey ride also, and I
didn't
really
get to go.
I
didn't
really
get to
love
go.
that.
Really?
I know some people have said it doesn't have a repeatability, but I really, really love that ride.
I didn't
Every
get to
time I
go
go,
on
I see
that.
something different because there's so much to see.
I had a fast pass for it, but I didn't want to leave John hanging, so I didn't use it. So I'll check that out next
Thanks,
time I go.
Yeah. We got stopped right in front of the shaman, which was kind of cool.
Yes.
So we got to watch the
Yeah.
shaman AA for like, I don't know, 3-4 minutes.
Shaman A.
Wow.
AA.
I like
Audio
that.
animatronic.
The Shaman A. It's like Shamanique.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I hate to do this, but I have a
You gotta
little
go pick
girl
somebody
at
up.
birthday party that I need to go pick up.
All righty.
But y'all can fill in the audience on all the rest of the junk that I did while I was there with you guys. And I had a really great time. And I just wanted to say that if there is a ICOT25, even if 10 people show up,
or even if there's no website at that point. Yeah, well,
I'm there.
No, I'm saying I don't care how many
still get
or
together
how little
5
of you
years
guys
from now.
show up. I will be there.
It'll be
Well,
like a
don't you think
class
that's-
reunion.
Don't you think that's because it's kind of gotten beyond the point where it's like about the website for us? It's more about the fact that we're all just good friends and we like to hang out together. So like, even if there was not an ICOT anymore at all.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but there are still people that are very passionate about the website. I mean, again, I mean, I
Well,
just saw
I'm including
Rachel.
them in what I'm
I
saying.
just saw
Yeah,
Rachel Moynes
I saw
today
that
post
too.
that
About
it was
her and Sean.
at ICOT 15 that she met.
That was great.
Yeah, there are people who've gotten married as a result. There are people who have grown up on the website. There were folks who, like I said in the video, that sent us notes and apologized for not being able to be there because of how much fun they've had in the past. So I think,
Well, then,
really,
I'm-
it's going to
I'm
be a
just putting
class
this out there.
reunion. You know?
Yes, we are still
so-
going to have an ICOT 25
ICOT 30.
quarter century of fun. And
Yep.
I don't care
One
who's
way or the
there,
other.
who's not there.
I'll be there.
I'm going to be there. So
I will
somebody
be
come
there.
and join me.
All
I'll
right.
be I will definitely be there for sure.
Okay.
All right,
Absolutely.
guys. Take care. Have fun with the rest of the
See ya.
podcast.
Bye,
Bye,
Canada.
Carolyn.
Bye.
Carolyn,
Bye-bye.
Let me know when you finish
Bye now.
Stranger Things so I can.
Bye now.
I will. I'll text you.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. And there she goes. So from there, from Pandora, we went on and had some barbecue at Flame Tree Grill.
At the Flame
At the
Tree.
Flame
Yeah.
Tree Grill.
Up the flame.
And then on to the Bug's Eye Challenge, where we went on It's Tough to Be a Bug. And still, I don't know, that ride still cracks me up. I mean, I still...
It was good.
I know. I still
I
get...
haven't been on it in a while, and I
Right.
was kind of like, oh, you know what? This is cuter than I remember it being. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's also shorter.
I feel
than
like the
remember
I
it
feel
being,
like
but-
the 3D works better in that one than some of the other ones too. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit newer.
Well, I think the effects, as far as the 4D effects, just because of the things that go on while you're sitting down and stuff like
Yeah.
that, I think are better, generally speaking, than the other 3D attractions. So,
Someone
So-
got stung really hard, they said. Is that
Really?
you, John?
yeah, I think I got whacked pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, those bees or whatever it was. Was it the bees?
It's the
Wasp.
hornets.
Hornets,
Yeah.
hornets. Correct.
Bees are good, hornets are bad.
Gotcha.
Hornets are bad.
So, yeah, and, from there, we skipped our watering hole meet and then went on instead to the podcast live, which, like I said, is on Facebook, and you will be able to listen, see that / So, but yeah, that was what we did. We met in about the same place, and it was kind of a cool wrap, being able to hear the favorite parts that we had of the weekend, and also, folks that were along with us for the ride, or rides, as it may be,
So to speak.
for the whole weekend. But all in all, quite a good weekend. I kind of saddened because there were a number of people that couldn't join us because of timing issues. It seemed like this time, more than other ones in the past, we had problems just scheduling. And there were a number of folks who sent their regrets and said, geez, I wish I could have been there, but I've got this or that or whatever. That may be the part of where we all are in our lives now. I don't know,
Yeah, everyone's busy. Everyone has
Yeah.
different things. But the people who were there, I mean, we had a ball.
Fantastic group.
Just everyone who was there, we just had so much fun talking with everybody, and people that we've known, haven't known, that we just met. And I've been part of the Intercot family for 5 years. I met most of you at ICOT 15, and that was my first foray into it. And I've grown onto the site and whatever, and just meeting some people, and just there's so many people we haven't met still, and
Well, nice segue, because what happened at the end of everything, after the podcast, I had some time and it wasn't leaving until the next morning. Really didn't want to go back to the parks. and do that. I just kind of had enough. The crowds, by the way, over the whole weekend were tough.
Bad. Yeah,
They were really
Yeah.
tough. It reminded me of why I go and then leave sometimes and get out of the parks. But I didn't feel like going back, so we went as a DVC member, went to the Top of the World Lounge on Bay Lake Tower, Canada. The whole nation joined us. Carolyn and Jennifer both joined. Myself and Fanghorn and Mrs. Fanghorn both up there. So it was a good time. But as pretty much as everybody was leaving, I had seen on social media somebody say, "Oh yeah, well we're here too now," and a longtime member, blah blah blah. So I went over to this guy that was sitting there, and I'm trying to remember what his name is now, and it's not going to come to me, but a longtime member of the site was just sitting there, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm John from Intercot." He's like, "I thought that might be you," and we ended up talking for a few minutes, and said he had been on the site for a long time, that he was busy. Sorry he didn't make any of the stuff over the weekend. He knew we were celebrating, and just said it's really good to meet you, and so he had been on the site for like 10 years, and if I said his name, and I can't remember it right now, it's not coming to me, you would recognize
It's kind
it.
of anticlimactic that you can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, it kind of wrecks the whole story, really. I probably would have checked his name before I did that. You're not managing the delicate flow as well as usual tonight.
At the Top of the World Lounge.
I'm going to find it.
Did they pipe in the music for Hollow Wishes?
Yes, they did. I actually
they do.
filmed.
I
By
know
the way,
they do regular wishes. I wasn't sure if they did Hollow Wishes
Yes,
also.
Justin, if you want to see that, you can go to our social media feed on Facebook, and I actually filmed it live.
I thought you went, Justin.
I
Didn't
missed
you
it.
go with him?
No, Jason Dorn and I, we decided to go over to the Animal Kingdom to get, Jason hadn't seen it at night yet,
At
Pandora.
night, yeah.
So we went over there, and we grabbed a little bite to eat at the, was it Seoul Canteen? Whatever it's called. And then we
Had the pods.
Yep, we had the pods, and then we just did a few things around there, and then we were thinking about going back, but it was just such a long weekend, and we were all just tired, and so I think we called it a night.
Yeah, I ended up meeting up with my wife and her friend. We actually went and ate dinner at
Mexico, right?
San Angelo Inn. Yeah,
Plus, we
Had a
had
great-
to pack because we were leaving the next day, and we hadn't packed
great-
at all.
had a great seat right on the ride there. So we had a good dinner there. Actually, it was really good. And then I don't remember what the heck we did after that. Did something. I don't remember. Oh, we went back to the bar at the where the heck did I stay? The Dolphin. And,
The Dolphin.
Where
couldn't
was
remember. I couldn't remember
I'm
if I was
sorry,
at the
where
Swan
was
or the
I?
Dolphin.
Where was I staying? I don't remember.
I couldn't remember if I was at the Swan or the Dolphin. Yeah, at the Dolphin. We went back and just had a drink at the bar. We were so tired after the whole weekend. We just went back to the hotel and slept. And then my wife and I we ended up at Magic Kingdom all day on Monday.
Yeah,
Cool.
we did breakfast at Olivia's, and that was just like our final thing, and then we just walked around Old Key West for a little bit, and then caught the bus, the bad bus, back to.
Yes. What did somebody call it?
The
Tragical Express.
Tragical Express.
Yeah, that was.
That's only
Steve.
one way, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Steve,
not
said
coming as the Tragical Express. It's
Right.
going.
And actually, in
Maybe
the
have like
airport,
a letter that flips.
and in the airport, while we were waiting for our flight, we actually ran into Steve and Patty, Fanghorn and Isabella, and we were chatting with them for a little bit at the airport. You run into people everywhere.
It is true. You do. Like I was saying, except for I can't find. It's Mark.
You can't remember the poor guy's name.
Mark. I'm going to mess up his names. DiBatello is the guy that basically. And Mark had said, he was there and he was watching things along with us up there. Now I do not remember what his screen name is on Intercot, but anyway, at least we got a shout.
We'll get
out
that
there.
for the next. We'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get that for the next podcast or something, or maybe
We'll have that
ICOT20. I'll have that for.
We'll have his name ready by iTunes.
Hey, at least I got his name. So
Yeah, that's good. Impressive.
I mean, I knew that basically. To your point, Justin. Yeah, we did see Hollow Wishes. If you want to see that, haven't seen it this year or what it was, it is on our Facebook feed. I did broadcast live, and it was during that Mark had chimed in and said, hey,
I actually missed
we're
your
here right
post.
now. And then I realized I actually knew who he was, so it was kind of cool. So anyway, yeah, check that out, and also check out the live video podcast. So you want to do a quick news roundup, Jason, on what's going on, moving on from ICOT20? Thanks to everybody for attending.
Yes, thank you. I had a great time with all of you.
Yep.
It was just so much fun, and we should do it again.
Yep.
We will. We've got some. At least should have some Run Disney stuff coming up in Disney World. Of course, not Disneyland. anymore.
That's a good
That's
segue.
a nice segue.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like I planned that or something.
So they recently, there had been rumors, but they recently did officially announce that there will be no Disneyland Run Disney events for, the announcement said 2018.
It's just
So that's not very optimistic. They didn't say just for part of 2018 or just 2018 and beyond. So allegedly something between Disney and the city of Anaheim led to this cancellation, but that certainly wasn't anything publicly announced.
But that's interesting because, wouldn't the 5 and 10K, did those run outside the parks? I didn't think they did. I thought it was only the half that ran outside.
It was only the half. But actually, on one of the Facebook pages that I'm on, one of the Run Disney and, not official ones, but they speculated if there was only 5s and 10s at Disneyland, would you still run?
Right.
And a lot of people were like, no, absolutely not. How could you not have a half marathon?
Really?
Myself, I've never done a half marathon. 5s and 10s have been my limit so far. But, within the parks, if that's all you had, wouldn't you rather take that than nothing?
I would, personally.
Because, I did the 5K in January for Lightside, and, it was very nice to go through the parks, and my wife did the 10K, and she said running through the parts of California Adventure that you ran through that you didn't was so nice at night when it's all lit up, and morning, not night, sorry. How it's all lit up and everything, and then going into Disneyland and everything was really, really cool.
I agree.
So, I would personally love to do more 5s and 10s out there, but if they, I would have loved to do a half, but, I'm not there yet, and eventually.
Right. So that's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Kind of.
I know a few people on the site. Bad Kitty, Selena. She's very upset about it and everything. But that goes to coast. Medals are gone now and everything.
Did they give any rationale for why? I mean, they certainly seemed pretty popular.
No.
The reason they said was their excuse is that the construction, that there's too much going on to be able to run through the park. But they have been having trouble with Anaheim. And
I know Anaheim's been. Anaheim have not been on speaking terms particularly much.
And they also had some kind of volunteer issue. Also,
they did.
Volunteers that they hired were just not doing the job that they were supposed to do, rather than the volunteers that they had prior to that. It was it was a whole mess.
Did anybody? Just maybe a good segue into another piece of news, but they did announce that they're building a new resort there. I was wondering if maybe the construction for that was really going to be impactful to the route. So that's what I was wondering, if maybe they didn't have
probably not where it. I don't know. Probably not where it is. Did the route ever go through downtown Disney into the Disneyland Hotel?
It goes right by the Disneyland Hotel.
Okay. Right. Well, maybe then, but again, you think they could change the route.
Where are they building this new hotel anyway?
So I think a few podcasts back we talked about that they did announce a new hotel.
Yes.
They did not give the location back then. Actually, there's some rumor it got moved after the Eastern Gateway got canceled. So there's actually another canceled Disneyland project. They were going to build a garage on the opposite side of the resort from the Disneyland Hotel side. So now they're going to build a second garage near the Mickey and Friends parking garage, and they're going to build this fourth hotel kind of in that area between, I guess almost where the Lego store stops, sort of at one sort of half end of downtown Disney there, because then you kind of got the kiosks and everything after that. They're going to build it in that area, so it's going to run almost right up to the Disneyland Hotel today. and then Disney Springs. So it's almost like in Disney Springs they implied they may take parts of it out. So the first floor will actually be like shops and restaurants and part of Disney Springs, and the monorail is going to run either through it or like right by it.
Yeah, it's going to have its own dedicated monorail.
Yeah, it'll be close to the monorail station.
So have they figured out it's not going to be the same monorail station in downtown Disney? There's going to be another monorail station now?
It sounds to me like it's going to have its own.
It's hard to tell from the picture. So if you go on the boards...
People were talking about that kind of...
Yeah, if you go on the boards, we've got the concept art out there. Right. Again, it's just concept art. Things can change slightly. But yeah, it gives at least the general location. Because for a time it was rumored, I think it was going to go on the Toy Story parking lot. With the new garage, they could take over that.
Right.
But apparently, no, you're going to have the in fact, they said that was one of the goals. So I'll have the Grand Californian, Paradise Pier, Disneyland Hotel, and this new hotel, still not named, which I thought was interesting. All 4 hotels will be connected by this new plaza garden area they're going to construct.
Now, doesn't it seem stupid at this point that the monorail actually sort of runs through where the Grand Californian is? It actually goes right through a part of the building.
Yeah, no stop.
But on the outside, or whatever, on the one side, and that they didn't. Now they're going to have, all of a sudden, a light bulb goes off. We're going to have a resort that has a dedicated monorail platform. Well, why didn't we do this for the Grand California?
Which is going to be weird, because I think it's going to be really close to the downtown
to the other one,
Disney station.
How's that? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe,
are they going to close the other one? You begin to wonder.
Yeah, it's like, is the back end of the monorail is going to be at the new hotel station, and the front end is going to be at downtown.
I know. This is
like,
okay, we're here.
Off.
And now, since they're building a new hotel, have they announced anything about adding a DVC?
Not yet.
Someone asked that.
Because out in California, all you have is a Disneyland Hotel. And I don't know how many rooms there are. There's not
it's
many.
not going to be that big. They announced 700 rooms.
Yeah, which is not a very.
I don't think that's very big for those hotels. I don't know how many the other ones have, but that seems low.
Right.
It looks pretty spread. It's like spread out in like 3 or 4 buildings, maybe 4 to 5 stories tall. Very gardeny.
Yep.
Their guess is maybe garden.
So actually, no. I'll take that back. It's actually more than twice as big as the Disneyland Hotel, which now only has 300 guest rooms.
The Disneyland Hotel only has 300 guest rooms?
Yeah.
Really?
With the towers and everything?
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia says.
Well, Wikipedia is always right.
Oh, you're right.
Pages are maintained. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Bad.
Wait.
This is bad juju.
Sorry.
Yeah, that does not. That was as of '84, so I'm sure they've expanded it since then. Yeah. Let's see. It doesn't say how many rooms.
Research on the fly.
Yeah.
ICOT Consulting.
Talk amongst yourselves.
We're available for.
Oh, now it has 990 rooms and suites.
Sounded.
Why didn't they go with 999?
Yeah, they could have said there's room 999 happy.
But there's always room for 1,000.
Yeah, any volunteers. But not. What's that? Like 70, 80% of the size of the Disneyland Hotel. So it's not tiny.
Which that's not a huge hotel either, but.
No, I wonder how big the Grand Californian is.
Huge.
Yeah, that is a big hotel.
Yes, just even like that whole wing with the DVC is that's probably. I don't even know how many rooms they have for DVC out there. I'm gonna say maybe 200. I'm guessing, speculating.
I don't know.
Only.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it would be nice if they added another DVC property out there. Because. If you try to get the Grand California,
it has 745, so it'll be this new hotel will be comparable in size to the Grand California.
Does it say how many are dedicated DVC rooms?
Let me click through here.
Well, I shouldn't say dedicated DVC rooms, but because it's difficult to get a reservation out there.
Yeah, I know. I remember when we owned DVC, it was really small. It does not. It just says the Grand Californian has 745 rooms and suites.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually none of them seem really big because Paradise Pier is 481.
Yeah, Paradise Pier is small. I stayed there before.
So it's just a smaller footprint.
Yeah.
But they do have big rooms.
Which makes sense.
The Paradise Pier rooms are big.
Yeah,
they're nice size rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, we only stayed there
Are
once. Yeah, we thought it was
they're pretty big.
very large. Oh, sorry, my wife just
Disneyland
mentioned we did have a
hotels are
club
very
room.
large.
Oh,
Yeah, that might be why. Because I stayed. I mean, I stayed there, and I didn't
Bougie.
think they were. Wait, hold on. Is this right? Wait, this doesn't seem right.
Channeling the spirit of Michael Montanez there.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. I'm trying to see. They're 364 square feet, so that's not a particularly large.
No, that's not. That's not.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess the room that we had, since it was a club room.
If it was a club
bigger.
room, maybe it was larger. Because when we stayed in Paradise Pier, I actually remember thinking like, this room's a little cozy.
Well, you also have 17 kids, so.
No.
That's
We
a
only
good
had
point.
Jake. We only had Jake and Taylor when we stayed there. This was long before the girl was born.
good
We can't
point.
afford to fly the whole family out to California anymore. But it's so that size is sort of comparable to the new relatively standard hotel room size in Disney World. The older hotels are 400 plus square feet, but most of the newer ones are in the 350 to 380 range.
Alrighty.
This.
Yes.
So speaking of hotels and jumping coasts, it was announced by a third party this past week that the Swan and Dolphin will be expanding.
Right.
Yes.
So the
interesting.
coastal construction group just opened an Orlando division, and they announced that one of their first projects will just be this vague expansion of the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin. Based on some other permits, it looks like it'll be the tennis courts and the Fantasia Gardens Pavilion, the Disney Gardens Pavilion there by the miniature golf, will be replaced. So it'll kind of be across the street from the Swan.
Yeah, which I don't understand. How are you going to have a hotel across the street? I mean, unless it's going to be like a whole separate hotel, you know.
Yeah, I think
that
would.
It's going to be a different. Because the first thing I thought was like, why would you? I wouldn't want to stay at a hotel that's like across the street from the restaurants and the lobby and the check-in and all that. Like, it's just weird.
Unless they have a dedicated check-in there.
That's what I mean. It'll almost have to be like a standalone, you know,
Right.
will it have, maybe it'll be, you know, the Swan 2 or something, or maybe it'll be the Goose or the...
Maybe the whale.
The whale, yeah.
The whale.
Carolyn suggested the pterodactyl on our
Let's see,
The gargoyle.
Pterodactyl.
Swan and Dolphin and Pterodactyl.
Well, yeah. To your point, Ian, I think it'll be interesting if they do have it across the street. That's kind of
because
strange.
right now it's just a crosswalk, so you would think
unless
they'd
you
have
have-
to build, like a pedestrian bridge or something.
or unless you go under,
Yeah.
you have a pedestrian tunnel.
Under's a little hard in the swamps of Florida.
Florida, yeah, you can't, there's no
Yeah,
under.
it depends on how far it's built up in that location. But yeah,
True.
I
Yeah,
get,
but it's
I get
kinda-
what you're saying.
Well, you
Kinda
do
hard
know
to-
the Magic Kingdom is built so many feet higher than ground level.
Yes,
We do
Right.
know that.
it is the second
I've
story.
heard that.
But they built that. They built that with that. There's a road there now, so
Yeah.
like without you have to tear up the whole road and elevate the road.
I don't know that.
Although
well, I just can't see a pedestrian bridge going in over there either.
They
but,
would just go over top of the road.
Oh, I know, but I mean,
My guess
it would be pretty elaborate.
My guess is they'll just build it as a standalone
Yeah.
extension.
It was
Remember that
interesting
dude?
that it was announced as part of the existing hotel because previous permits implied it would not be Starwood.
Do you wonder whether maybe it's like Starwood? Does Starwood have like a vacation club, or isn't Starwood and Marriott the same?
Well, it is now. Yeah, actually,
So-
it is now.
Yeah.
They're merging.
So could there's maybe be vacation club
yeah.
properties or
That
something
could-
like
that
that?
could be
Yeah,
something
maybe
like
they're
that.
going to build like a Marriott vacation club there. Yeah, that's possible.
I'm just thinking out loud.
Although, boy, does Disney really want Marriott Vacation Club competing with their vacation club? Because price-wise, it's not particularly comparable.
Yeah, I'm not really aware. I don't know how that works, but
Cheap.
okay.
I mean, compared to DVC. But then again, pretty much everything is cheap compared to DVC.
right.
Yes.
Right.
GBC is quite dear.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
What else? We got?
So staying on a construction topic, so we know the NBA experience is going in where DisneyQuest was. What wasn't really clear until this recent week is that they are completely tearing down the building.
Yeah,
a
it
lot
was
of
a
people
little-
thought it would just be gutted. No,
Yeah.
they have, like, I think as of yesterday, Started taping this on the 28th. So by the 27th, they had like torn down almost the entire building.
Yeah, which was shocking because, it looked like originally they had like put holes or something in the facade going around.
Yeah,
and I thought
they were starting to tear down the facade, and it was like, okay. And because when we were there for ICOT20, it was like, it's just this great building. And then it was like, oh, no, we're just going to tear it all down.
We changed our mind. Just run it over. Now, I did think that was interesting. I swore that they were going to use the core of the building and then just put a new facade on the whole thing.
So,
that was so surprising.
Yeah, that may give some impression that this will, not be sort of the same levels and the sort of the same setup. So it will be a summer 2019 opening. We do have an opening date now.
Yep.
This has been a long project coming. This was actually one, if you go back, people thought it was canceled because it was announced, and then
I think
a year and a half went by. Yeah. And then they finally did announce the closure and the replacement.
Speaking of that area over there, I know they're closing Lanuba. Are they doing something with that building?
Well, according to my one minivan driver, so we've had Disney bus driver rumors.
Now we got minivan driver
rumors. He assured me that Disney is currently negotiating with Cirque du Soleil for a new show to start probably shortly after Lanuba ends.
Oh, okay.
They may have had like rehearsal time, but he said he knew from some managers in the area that was happening.
So, Jason, you don't think it could be related to this? Because Lanuba's right next to DisneyQuest. You don't think they're going to? Because I'm looking at the concept art you posted, and there ain't no building next to it. So it almost looks like maybe they're going to – maybe they could just demolish that and use that land for the NBA experience.
They might. It's also a little weird because Cirque du Soleil bought the Blue Man Group a few months ago.
No, really?
They're at Universal.
Down there?
Right.
Wow, that would be awesome.
So, there are questions of, will they merge the shows together now? Could they be leaving?
Maybe they're just leaving Disney in favor of Universal. Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Interesting.
So that'll be interesting, but no, that hasn't really been known yet. But yep, there is concept art on the boards showing what the new NBA experience will look like.
Cool.
I'm not at all interested in this, but I'm sure someone is.
Yeah, I have no ambition.
I don't know, it all depends on what it is. I'm not going to poo-poo it before I see it, but I'm pretty much in your camp.
I don't have any interest in the NBA, so regardless of what it is, I won't have any interest in it.
There was an interesting point brought up on the boards of since it is only the NBA, will that place be, much less crowded, during the off season? Because they can't have like live games and those types of things going on.
Yeah, but you know what? NBA has stuff all over. They have D-League stuff going in the off season. They've got the 3-on-2 thing or the 3-on-3 or it's just
Summer League.
Yeah, Summer League. It's D-League, Summer League, yeah, all that. So I can see that. And then I would imagine there's going to be a restaurant or something in there too.
Yeah, there's going to be a restaurant
and it'll probably be
so I can still draw.
Probably be very Dave and Buster-ish kind of. I would imagine.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of picture. I kind of picture that. So tell me about the oddly specific patent for a swinging ride.
So typically when patents are filed, they try to stay vague enough to protect the intellectual property, but specific enough to not be rejected by the patent examiner. The more you know.
Right.
A little star sound. But this patent actually specifies that Disney has invented and is looking to patent a swinging ride system
Tarzan
to be used for Tarzan or Spider-Man like swinging movements. Typically, you don't put those types of details in a patent, so that was kind of different. So essentially, if you haven't seen it on the boards, you can still go there to see the drawings from the patent. It's like 4 people sitting on a bench. Kind of think the ride system at Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. So there's kind of a ride system behind the bench and your feet are dangling. But instead of being stuck on a robot arm, as you are on that ride, this is hanging from a pendulum. So the pendulum will be able to swing back and forth. and then the pendulum itself will be on a track and move through a large scene area. So it could be physical sets with combinations of screens, or just large physical sets. That's not really specified. But I
missed all of this. Where are they putting this?
It's just a patent.
Not been
just a patent.
So it's not for a ride.
Not yet.
However, this will be the centerpiece e-ticket attraction for the Marvel Land at Disney California Adventure. Going with of course, the Tarzan, the Spider-Man theme.
Right, and then Tarzan will be probably put in Animal Kingdom or something.
Correct, and that's what the thought was, since they still have they don't own their own rights for east of the Mississippi.
Right.
Could make it Tarzan at Walt Disney World and Spider-Man pretty much, I think, everywhere else.
Sorry, you said in California Adventure?
Yeah, so they own the rights.
Where are they building there?
Marvel
Land. So they haven't built it yet. There is a cast parking lot kind of behind what was the Tower of Terror, now the Collector's Fortress.
Okay.
So the rumor is they're going to expand back behind that the fortress will actually be sort of at the front of the land. So you'll go back either maybe where those gates are right now, where the red car trolley ends.
Okay.
So you might be able to go back in there, or they may make another entrance somewhere else near there. But there would actually be a whole land back there dedicated to Marvel, with maybe one or two more kind of big attractions.
Because wouldn't that border almost right onto Harbor Boulevard there?
I think so. Most of the land expansions there are going to be right along some of the various roads.
I mean, like, that would be almost right onto the roadway. I mean, I don't remember where the parking lot exactly is.
It'll be over the roadway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And flowing onto the other side.
That'll be part of the experience, is you have to dodge cars.
And to part of
Cool.
Just like a
real-life Frogger.
Right. That's part of it.
We incorporate Frogger into Marvel.
All right, we got time for like one more thing before we wrap up here.
So one
Real
more
quick.
thing,
quick hitter.
Dear to I think most of our podcast heart.
Yes.
Innoventions, after a long drought, has announced a new exhibit.
Really?
It's not a character meet and greet. So they will be adding the Spectaculab. I guess that's how you would say it.
That's how I would say it, yeah.
Spectaculab.
Cool. It'll actually be an interactive show sponsored by Murata and a STEM not-for-profit group called Science from Scientists. I don't know. I'd actually not heard of them.
Murata.
They are the press release says they are a global leader in the design, manufacture, and supply of advanced electronic components. And then Science from Scientists, which is a nonprofit STEM group. STEM being science, technology, engineering, and math.
Rather than STEAM.
Rather than STEAM, which there's arts in there as well.
See?
Yes.
Very well versed on this subject.
Yes.
Very well. So
very educational.
Very educational. So that is coming. When did they give any?
It'll open in November.
Really?
So that could be open here in a few days or a few weeks. They don't say when in November.
Really?
Yep, they said that'll open in November.
They must be repurposing something that. Was
potentially, or I mean, there were kind of large sections
that
never, like really raised. They just sort of shuttered them. So
yeah. And they had, I mean, I don't remember which side it's going in, but they had a couple of theaters, like spaces in there that's been closed off for a long time.
That's what I was wondering, whether there was something that they were able to do a quick turn to be able to do that soon. Otherwise, I mean, who knows? It may have been in the works for a while too, and just
true. They've been closed up, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows what they've been doing? Yeah, exactly. That's it. So, I think that's about it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Maybe one last quick note. They did announce the first detail for Toy Story Land.
Oh, that's right.
That'll be Woody's Lunchbox. So it'll be a walk-up counter service window serving mini Baby Bell-based snacks, because they are the sponsor, and old-fashioned floats.
What's
I like
Minnie
Baby
Babybel?
Bell.
What is that?
They're
Baby
those
Bell
little
is
teeny
cheese.
round cheeses.
Oh,
that
okay.
come in a
Right.
wrap.
So
Okay.
they're now the official cheese snack of Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and the Disney Cruise Line.
Do they have string cheese?
No, they've got the little
But
disc that you pull.
cheese and Sundays. That doesn't really.
Yeah, well, they said snacks with the Baby Bell, so cheese and crackers and a float. I don't know.
Hey, I don't.
That's very cheesy.
Yes, totally cheesy.
Embarrassingly cheesy. Yes. Well, I think that's a good note to end on there. After wrapping up our 20th birthday celebration at Walt Disney World. For those of you who were able to attend, we are glad you did. For those who didn't, we missed you.
Yes.
Come on, join us on the boards and say hello, or join us on any.
Start
of our...
planning for I-25 now. Clear your calendar.
Exactly. Or you can join us on
dates
any
will
one of our
be
social media channels.
2022. October 2022.
Exactly. Which is precisely what we're going to be doing. So, yeah, we're hoping next time you are actually able to join us. But we're like I said, we're just kind of disappointed you couldn't make it, but we understand. So.
Yep, but in January, there'll be a Run ICOT event down there. A few of us are going down, so join us.
Yeah, always check out the meets board. You'll have a chance to join up with other fellow intercottees who might be on vacation and, do it that way as well. Small meets are a lot of fun as well. So anyway, for Carolyn, Ian, Justin, Cindy, Jason, and myself, I am still John. And
Still John.
This is episode 104. We are out of here. Bye now.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye now.
And that's the end.
Wow, we timed that good.